Yo, amongst the recent executive orders Trumpito has signed, the most recent one first, it removes the Federal Election Committee. And then the second and most important one, it prevents the weaponization of federal government agencies against political opponents. So, yo, Democrats, they sued Trump on Friday, saying that Trumpito taking control over all federal branches and agencies could mean that he would use, his executive power against his political adversaries. Some skepticals are saying that most of his recent actions are all retribution, but if that is true, I don't even give a damn. Y'all shouldn't have jumped it off with him in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Don't get mad. If it were me, I definitely want to get my licks back. My big sister always says, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. My name is Marcus Russell. This is the Marcus Russell Show. Let's get right to it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button.
Sir, your administration has made it a priority both to end lawfare and the weaponization of government, and also to hold those who have engaged in lawfare accountable. One of the law firms that has been involved in that is called Perkins Coie. That's also a law firm that has engaged in unlawful DEI
Shit.
practices. This executive order will suspend
And
security.
I've watched it take place.
This executive
Firsthand.
order will suspend security clearances and access to certain federal resources for that law firm, and also launch a holistic review of unlawful DEI practices at some of the nation's largest law firms.
This is an
That's right.
absolute honor to sign. What they've done is it's just terrible. It's a weaponization. You could say weaponization against a political opponent, and it should never
Facts.
be allowed to happen again. And you're looking at about 15 different firms?
That or more, sir, yes.
Yo, you see it right here. Trumpito is ending weaponization of federal government. Yo, he went through a lot of battles trying to make America great again. We witnessed it firsthand. But America loves the type of general who gets out there and goes on the front line, and he end up being victorious, as you can see. So yeah, now some people are about to have to pay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. One of the tools the left has consistently used to frustrate good government policies has been the use of injunctions and temporary restraining orders. Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 65C allows for essentially a demand for an injunction bond for folks who are seeking temporary restraining orders and injunctions to post a bond before they're allowed to proceed in court. This presidential memorandum would order the Department of Justice, its litigating components, to seek those injunction bonds whenever someone tries to challenge our policies in court, so that when they end up losing in court, and we believe that they will end up losing in court,
They
that they
owe.
can be held financially responsible for the
Ooh.
disruption to federal activities that their actions have caused.
So this is like anybody that they attack, I mean, that they, try to charge with one of these criminal or civil cases. If they lose the case, they owe a bond. This new executive order was created because the previous administration, they had a systematic campaign of weaponizing different government agencies and community intelligence communities to, against their previous people who were perceived as their opponents. Remember, like the early morning raids, the criminal charges, and the rest. So I don't think that he's forgotten that all, as you can see.
Something they've wanted to do a long time, right?
He's been wanting to do this for a long time.
They've been looking to do this for years,
Yes, sir.
and why they just never got it.
This is a rule that's been on the books for a very long time.
Yo, so yeah, Trumpito, he has mandated that all attorney generals and heads of these prospective agencies do a review of all of their activities that they've done in the last 4 years. They need to identify instances where a department's conduct was, in fact, in contrary to the policies or into the purpose of the policy and order. Report those incidents to the chief and president, where afterwards he will exercise whatever civil or criminal charges come with that. And so, I know he's going to exercise them, and that leads us right to Alvin Bragg. Immediately after he signed that executive order, he went right to the hearing where they're charging Alvin Bragg with these allegations, which I'm sure that he's going to follow up on. Check this clip out.
I thank the gentleman for yielding, and I think it was discussed earlier that this was not about politics and that people campaigning for district attorneys were not campaigning on going after the former president, now current president. But that, of course, is belied by the evidence, and I think we have a video to show just that.
Shit.
Whoever has this job, are they going to convict Donald Trump?
Look, that is the number one issue. I'm the candidate in the race who has the experience with Donald Trump. We sued the Trump administration over 100 times.
I sued Trump over 100 times and brought a case against the Trump Foundation and held him accountable.
Holding Trump accountable for the Trump Foundation.
From exposing illegal behavior by the Trump Foundation.
I do have a lot of experience with the former president. I led the New York State Attorney General's work and investigation and successful litigation against him and his family for their misconduct with the Trump Foundation. And also we had a number of litigations, more than 100 involving the Trump administration. I led the team that held Trump and his children accountable for their misconduct with the Trump Foundation.
Yeah, you might have put your foot in your mouth, Alvin. You should not have said none of that stuff. For real. And now he just signed an executive order saying that these people actually who did this broke the law, federal law, and you will be held accountability. Why? Because you weaponize federal government agencies, communications agencies, all type of stuff, and it's going to get worse.
Saw the work which sued his administration more than 100 times. I led the Attorney General's work on the Trump Foundation case where we held Trump and his family accountable. When I was at the Attorney General's office, I led our work on the Trump Foundation matter. I also led the team that did the Trump Foundation case, and I've seen him up front and seen the lawlessness that he can do. Started out as a civil rights lawyer, then became a federal prosecutor, ultimately was the #2 lawyer in the New York State Attorney General's office, leading the charge against the racist policies of the Trump administration. I believe we have to hold him accountable. I've litigated with him, and so I'm prepared to go where the facts take me once I see them and hold him accountable. Being a rich old white man has allowed you to evade accountability in Manhattan. That includes Trump and his children, right? We held him accountable in the Trump Foundation case. My office did the Trump University case. So I've seen a pattern of lawlessness over 20 years, and so I'm inclined to believe all I see in the public domain. And know that there's and believe that there's a path forward there to make a case.
Yeah, accountability, huh, Alvin? Well, I wonder in any of those cases, did you use any of the intelligence agencies to gather information? I wonder in any of those instances if you use any of the government's enforcement agencies to enforce any of those things that you try to enforce as the AG. I don't know. It's looking like you might have put your big foot in your big mouth, Alvin. And like I said, it's no fun when the rabbit has the gun. My name is Marcus Russell. This is the Marcus Russell Show. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time, peace.